The message came at 8:42 p.m. Conference extended. Back next week. Don't wait up. Love you, Red Heart. For a few seconds, I just stared at the screen, expressionless. The faint blue glow of my phone bathed the room in cold light. Then, a subtle chill crept through me, quiet, instinctive, and impossible to explain. It wasn't the message itself. It was the tone. Don't wait up. Emma had never said that before. Not once in 12 years of marriage. I leaned back on the couch, eyes drifting between the muted television and the soft ticking of the wall clock. My beer sat untouched on the coffee table. An extended conference wasn't unusual. Emma worked in corporate PR. Last-minute schedule changes were part of her job. But lately, something had shifted. She'd been dressing up more often, perfume that wasn't hers, or rather, not ours, the kind I'd never bought her. Her phone never left her hand. Even her laughter had changed. It sounded quieter, careful, like the real version was reserved for someone else. I told myself I was imagining it, that it was just stress, that I was being paranoid. But that text, that tone, was the final push. I opened my laptop, hesitated, and did something I never thought I would. I logged into our shared phone account. Her call history loaded. Numbers, timestamps, unfamiliar contacts. And then one number stood out, frequent, long calls at odd hours. Late nights, early mornings, even during conferences. I copied it. A quick reverse lookup gave me a name. Nathan Cole, regional manager at her company. Married. 2 kids. My stomach turned. For 2 days, I acted like nothing was wrong. I texted her goodnight. Told her I missed her. She replied with short, distant messages, emojis, half-answers. Each one felt like another nail sealing the coffin of my trust. Then I made my decision. I had to know. I told my boss I needed a few days off for family reasons. Booked a flight to Chicago, where her conference was supposed to be. I packed light. As the plane climbed through the clouds, I watched my reflection fade against the dark window. I wasn't angry, at least not yet. The pain hadn't reached me. It was still traveling, slowly, through disbelief. Chicago greeted me with cold rain and gray skies. I rented a car and parked across from the hotel her company always used for events. Hours passed. Guests came and went through the revolving doors, suits, briefcases, high heels. Every woman with dark hair made my pulse skip. Then, around 5:30 p.m., I saw her. Emma. Hair tied back. Navy blazer. Laughing. Really laughing. The open, effortless kind I hadn't heard in months. Beside her was Nathan. His hand touched the small of her back as they walked toward the elevator. Comfortable, familiar. My chest tightened. I didn't move. I just sat there, frozen, watching them disappear inside. My fingers trembled against the steering wheel. I could have stormed in, confronted them, made a scene. But something inside whispered, not yet. Not until you're certain. Painfully certain. So I waited. An hour later, I slipped into the lobby, head low beneath my hoodie. The clerk barely looked up when I asked for a room. In the hotel bar, I ordered a whiskey I didn't want and sat near the window, eyes fixed on the elevator. Around 9 p.m., they came down again. Emma and Nathan. Her hand brushed his arm. His fingers lingered on hers. They shared an umbrella as they stepped outside into the rain. She was smiling, the same smile she used to wear for me. I followed, keeping my distance. They turned down a side street and entered a small Italian restaurant. Candlelight flickered through the window, casting soft gold on their faces. Close, intimate, familiar. When Nathan reached across the table and held her hand, my breath caught. That was it. The proof I hoped I wouldn't find. I left before their food arrived. Back in my car, I sat in silence. The city lights blurred through my tears. My hands shook as I tried to breathe, tried to understand. 12 years of breakfasts, long drives, inside jokes, whispered goodnights, reduced to this bitter truth. She wasn't mine anymore. Maybe she hadn't been for a long time. That night, I drove aimlessly until I ended up at Lake Michigan. The waves rolled in slow, tired rhythms. I wanted to scream, to break something, to call her and demand why. But I didn't. Because ways say when the person you love most is the one holding the knife. The next morning, I went back to the hotel. Her car was still in the lot. I walked up to the front desk, forcing a calm smile. I need to leave something for my wife, Emma Carter. She's here for the conference. The clerk nodded. Room 418. Perfect, I said, handing over a sealed envelope. Inside was a photo I'd taken the night before, Emma and Nathan holding hands across the table. Beneath it, one line. The conference is over. Don't come home next week. She didn't call for 3 days. Then, finally, my phone rang. Michael, her voice shook. Please let me explain. Explain what? I said. The conference or the man you've been seeing for months? Soft sobs filled the line. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. I didn't mean to cheat. I cut her off. Or didn't mean to get caught. Silence. Then a whisper. I'm sorry. 2 words that once could heal everything now meant nothing. Sorry doesn't fix it, I said quietly. I trusted you, Emma. I built my life around you. And you turned it into a lie. She cried harder. For a moment, I almost felt pity. Then I remembered her laughter under candlelight. Don't come home, I said again and hung up. The following weeks blurred together. Quiet mornings, sleepless nights. I boxed up her clothes, her books, the framed photos from trips that now felt like fiction. Each one was a small funeral. Friends called, offering comfort, but I ignored most of them. I wasn't angry anymore, just empty. Betrayal doesn't detonate. It dissolves you slowly, until all that's left is dust. One evening, while sorting through old photos, I found a note tucked behind one. It was from our early days, written in her handwriting. If we ever drift apart, promise you'll remember this. I never stopped loving you. Sometimes love just gets lost. For the first time in weeks, I cried. Not from anger, but from grief. Grief for the woman I loved, the marriage we built, the version of us that might have survived if truth had come sooner. Months later, divorce papers arrived through a lawyer. I signed them that same day. I didn't want revenge. I didn't even want closure. I just wanted peace. Still, one line from her final letter stayed with me. I didn't extend the conference, Michael. I extended the lie. And I'm sorry you had to end it for both of us. She was right. I ended it by facing the truth, by walking away, by letting the silence say what words never could. And in that silence, I found something close to freedom. Sometimes, late at night, I still replay that text in my head. Conference extended. Back next week. And I can't help but smile. Bitterly. Because she was half right. There was an extension. Not of a conference, but of a goodbye that had started long before that message ever appeared on my screen. And by making sure she didn't come home, I finally found my own way back.